Oh, hi, you guys. I'm just sitting here looking at a book I'm going to talk about, and at some point here, it's by Lilo, who works for us. So sorry I finished so abruptly on Wednesday. Whenever I get a call on my phone and it looks like it could be a local number, well, like the same area code and stuff, I always take it because I never know with my mom what's going on. And a lot of the places don't give you who they are calling. And so what had happened was that my mom, and happened the day before, uh, maybe Monday, I forget. Anyway, she got a skin tear. She is, mentally hardly here at all, and she's strong as a horse. She's like 94, but her skin is like tissue, and we don't know how it tore, but I got a picture and it was blah. So I didn't know what was going on. And so I hung up. But that said, last week I went there and I had a little sliver of Door County cherry pie. Okay. And I was about to put it in my mouth, and I'm like going, well, that's like rude. Give it to your mom. So I went over to see her and I gave her her little sliver of Door County cherry pie. And oh, she just, wah. And I think that's something I learned about people with Alzheimer's dementia, is that their sweet tooth, that's one of the last things they lose. So there are some other adorables ladies there, and couple of them are really with it. I think there's 5 ladies in the house. And I realized how rude it was that I just had this little sliver for my mom. And I said, would you like me to make you a cherry pie? And Lois goes, well, who doesn't like cherry pie? So game on. I went to Robin Maimoni's because I turned her on to these cherries from Door County, and I'll tell you where in a minute. And she gave me what I needed, including I got my maker Lennox here yesterday, and she was helping me make it for Grandma. And I have to say, I'm really proud of her because for her great grandma. I'm really proud of her because, oh, she wanted that cherry pie so bad. So I let her have 3 cherries. Here it is. She'd walk in the kitchen. She was doing school from here yesterday. She was too distracted in the situation she was in, so she was doing her school here. So that's how it turned out. And sweet little girl would walk in the kitchen and go, oh, something smells really good. Nice try, sweetheart. But she understood how important it was to give it to Grandma D. So what I also think I did is I get them from Kepsels in Sister Bay. And so I didn't know if my mom would remember Kepsels or not. So I cut some roses from my garden and stuck it in the Kepsels little canning jar, and I took that over there too. What my mom was most taken with was I have a laminator, and I laminated that picture of Lennox making the pie and wrote the story on the back, and that's what she really was drawn to, and that really made my heart happy. But speaking of cherry pie, for Thanksgiving we've migrated from apple and pumpkin to pumpkin and cherry. And I'm going to say that I love Thanksgiving. It's my most favorite holiday of the year. And really with all that we have gone through this year, I mean, like what else could happen? I mean, seriously. I love this. Hey, yay, we have Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh, I love that. So today we started taking orders at 9 o'clock. If you're having problems placing your order, make sure that you're not on Firefox. I sometimes find out that Firefox does not play well with me, so I'll go to Chrome or Safari or whatever things you're on. So if you're ever having problems doing anything and you're on Firefox, just choose another one and move on with it.
Ordering the fabric bundle.
But for ordering the fabric bundles, John, just what did I say?
You didn't tell them what it was.
Oh yeah, so it was 9 o'clock. We started taking, the fabric order bundles and all of that. So if it's taking you around in circles, we think it most likely you're in Firefox. The other thing is that we had almost 100 of these and they're gone. So we're ordering more, of course, but my girlfriend said you can get it digitally, all right, and it's less expensive. And what she's doing is she's printing out the blocks as we work on them, and then she can make notes on this cardstock paper, or you could laminate it or whatever and make it into your own little binder too. So that's another option here. After this today, I'm actually going out to work to tie little bundles together for you guys. And there's Mary Kay's son Lucas, and he got come help us, and he's an IT guy for us. So he's not out there today. I will be out there. I got a question about free fuse for that's the stuff that's in lieu of spray basting. It's the powder stuff. And the question was, what batting can you use it on? I would use it on 100% cotton on an 80-20. Stay away from wool because it's too porous, at least our wool is, and polyester is too porous too, or fluffy bat. Also, I wouldn't want to iron on my polyester bat, really. So in answer to, and does it have fumes? No, there's no smell to it at all. So let's see what we have, what you guys have sent in. This is Inky Paws. You guys, your names just, I love. Inky Paws didn't know where to send her sequoia. And I just want to state that this is so simple. It's fabulous. It's very primitive. And it just goes to show, you can take somebody's idea and just swim with it and have a great time, or fly with it like you're a bird, huh? That's kind of corny. This is Redworks. She said she used tulas and, gosh, what was the other thing you said? Tulas and capes. And there was, oh shoot, I forget what else you said. But she did get her stars in there now, didn't she? Okie doke. Then we have, boy, I lost some of these. I'll have to, Rocio from Costa Rica. Rocio, you just made me smile beyond measure. Rocio and Maria Teresa are friends of mine from Costa Rica that we would always see in at Houston or whatever, and they closed their store. It was a great store in Costa Rica, I think about 3 years ago, but she's doing this all in half scale. So please, Rocio, say hi to Maria Teresa. I have such fond memories when I got to hang out with you guys. All right, so that's good. I'll take questions at the end too, all right? We kind of have a lot to go through today. So let's go over to my screen and let me find my PowerPoint. And okay, spaces, unusual spaces. Let's talk about that. Not everybody has the luxury to have a big room, or for some people, well, gosh, there's a woman in Livermore, California who bought the house next door. I mean, can you imagine? But a wee space, there's some really clever things you can do. So let's take a look at some of the things that I've come up with or I've learned. Okay, this is a fold-up table from IKEA, and it's called the Norton table. You can see if you flop down that side there, the footprint here is very, very small. I mean, it could be in your master bedroom or the guest room, in the laundry room, wherever. It's just a very, very small footprint. So I thought that was pretty cool. Even have little drawers. And then these I got off Pinterest, by the way. This, you could take a room and you could divide it with some sort of screen. And then that way you're not having to look at the stuff if you don't want to look at it. And you could open it up when you want to work there or whatever. But you're basically making a wonderful little cubby for yourself. Here's another fold-up cupboard. And this looks like something that you could put in a master bedroom. Fold it up, get a color you love, and there you go. And I love in all of these, now this one looks like there's gift wrap going on and ribbons and all that, but there's that sewing machine. I have to laugh. That sewing machine looks like something I got in 8th grade. It was a new home was exactly those colors. So trendy and in now. So this is my girlfriend Ellen. And Ellen now lives in Texas, but she lived in the Los Angeles area, Torrance to be exact, and they had a condo. And she converted a closet, which I think is absolutely fabulous. Ellen would not be happy in a large space. She'd get too distracted, she told me. So let's take a look how Ellen handled it. She too is a mega organizer. So there's Ellen's space that was in her place in Southern California. And there's her kitty. There's a pincushion I made her. Hey, how about that? And she can just slide the doors closed if she wants. But again, organization is everything. Now, she doesn't have a... Ellen, did you put my little pincushion in every shot? I have the feeling you might have, and I've just noticed that right now. Everything is labeled. Now, she doesn't have a P-Touch labeler, so don't let that stop you if you need to label things. Just get out your felt tip pen and have at it. I mean, this is so uber organized. I kind of put this in the group of Robin Maimoni and what she's doing. And I think, I mean, even the color of her beads, it's noted on the outside of the box. So okay, look at this. The kind of fabric she has in, the fat quarters, etc. I mean, truly, you guys, if you are organized, the amount of time that you're going to be saving is just fabulous. So there is an empty closet, and this is not Ellen's, but this one, look at this. She's got that's ridiculous. The person has a pull-out ironing board, darling little light fixtures. There is the electrical socket. It's all right there. It's a matter of not wasting space, of which I confess to you guys, I'm a horrible space waster. So this is Anita Solomon, and she lives in New York City. And if you want to talk about tight space, yeah, let's talk about living in New York City. This is just a very small bedroom. And one of the things that I really love is that Anita was using the back of the door and the slider of the closet as her design wall. And then look how she has all her rulers and all that good stuff hanging from the wall, and then yet in bookshelves. It's using your space so wisely. Okay, this is Susan Else, and Susan Else has been on the show. It's definitely worth watching. She does sculptural pieces, and they're just amazing. She did a full-size Ferris wheel. Well, not full size, that would be impossible. 6 feet tall Ferris wheel. One of my favorite pieces of her, I hope it's the next slide. No, it's the next, I don't have it, is she has skeletons that are just, they're lovers, and they're sitting next to each other, and they're beautiful. Well, Susan's husband wanted to travel, all right? And she said, okay, that's fine, but I get to have a studio in what we're traveling with. And, you know, Pokey kind of did the same thing. And it was has that show aired yet? No, Pokey's has not come up yet. Right now it's Jennifer Sampu, Joe, and Julie. Pokey got an Airstream to get herself out of Napa just in case. And boy, I am glad she has that now. But here's Susan's studio on the go. So let's look inside. You know, these places are not big. You understand that, these trailers, but she has taken the dining area, and I believe she has even now cut into the table so that her sewing machine drops down in it. And I love the design wall there. You know, design wall, design wall, design wall. I can't say enough about it. And she's good to go. This really is a very, very limited space. Oh yeah, there we go. She had it drop down. So truly, you know, if you think about it, when you go to a workshop, that's the space you get, you guys. Oh, look at the little girl in the hammock in the back corner. Her sculptural stuff is just amazing. Again, Susan Else. And then what I would do is I would take Robin's idea that we shared on Wednesday and suck the air out of the batting bag so it smashes down even tighter. That's what I would do. Look at this. This is where they sleep. So, I mean, with their doggy bed in front, it truly is a little quilter's paradise. It's filled with color, it's filled with whimsy, and it's completely 100% functional. I just adore this space. Then I want you to think about the unobvious spaces in your living quarters. You know, where are places that maybe you could just tuck right into? So, laundry room. And this is not so far-fetched in as much as, and you'll learn about my space. I did work in my laundry room for a while. My friend Nancy had boomerang kids, and she lives in a house that's not much different than ours, and her master bath was pretty darn small, but it did have 2 sinks. And in between the sinks, there was an open spot like here, like the sewing machine. When her kids would boomerang back, guess what she did? She worked in her master bath. And I'm telling you, it's not a master bath that's like these, mansions that people are buying now. It was a regular master bath. In fact, probably if you took that right-hand side and cut it off where that brown is on the counter and dump a sink in there and dump a sink on the other side, that's it. And then she would put rolly stuff under that area there, and that's where she'd pull out her stuff to work. So you've got to claim a space. Now this one, what was this one? Oh, the laundry room. Okay, there we go. Oh, is this a potting shed or a laundry room? People, it's a laundry room. So you, again, think of if you're going to a workshop. And what I love about these spaces are that it has the artist's imprint on it. It's definitely there, okay? Then this, I would not have thought of. This is under a stairwell. A lot of wasted space under a stairwell. I can see some of you are going to go with a sledgehammer and start knocking things out. Don't tell anybody where you got the idea, okay? So there the pegboard is. And the thing is, you guys, I mean, truly, to be a quilt maker, you don't need a lot of stuff. You need good stuff and you need some stuff. But I mean, I've got so many things that I will never touch. Figure out what you really work with and then stick with that. Here, this was the outside back porch, all right? I think it was probably screened in or something like that. But this is getting pretty wee, you guys. And I think it all gets down to organization, being able to see where your stuff is and get your hands on it. I could even see on that left-hand ledge taking off that stuff and somehow managing a partial rotary mat there. Or you could go cut in the kitchen and then come in here and work. That's probably what I'd really do. Oh, here's the back porch. Okay, this was an outside balcony. Okay, and then here was the back porch or the potting shed. No, this is the potting shed. This is like if you were to go and, well, if you have a potting shed, we've got a little thing in the backyard that Joey and my dad built. And I suppose I could clean it out. I don't want to because I've got this wonderful space here. But you could also, they're doing a lot of advertising for those she sheds or he sheds. And at one point, actually, we were looking at the quilt show that we needed more space to work. I'm sure you could see that after you saw where Lucas was. And I went and looked at those sheds, and there are a variety of them in a variety of sizes. This is Chris Spray's. This is a toy mover. I didn't even know that these things existed. This is a trailer that you can put your motorcycles, your dirt bikes, and all this stuff, and then move it from one location to another, which is why it's called a toy mover. And look at Chris. She's got her long arm in there. And I'm not quite sure how she got the electrical in there. I'm not sure if it comes with it or whatever, but I thought this was super duper ingenious. Okay, Pinterest. Here we go. I always ask people, who's on Pinterest? And maybe half the people raise their hands, and I say, who's not on Pinterest? And the other half raise their hands, and I say, don't do it. It don't go there. It is the time suck of the universe. But man, there are good ideas there. So on the left here, that's just one of those sweater sorters that you could put into your closet. Again, on Wednesday, I talked about using a shoe holder like that to put itty bitty scraps in. Oh, that's it right there. Okay, there we go. The problem with that is that there's just not that much room to put a lot. But if you've got a bunch of funky little pieces and you're going to, take somebody's class like that works in itty bitty pieces or applique or something like that, wouldn't this be a glorious bank to be able to go grab your stuff from? And then, of course, we can always dream. Look at this. Oh, I'm jealous. Look at this. It's so beautiful. I'll say she has more money than I do. But isn't that just absolutely lovely? That is better than going into a candy store. Look at that. She's got her lemon, her mustard, her velvet, her yellow, her orange, her gold. Mine's all crammed into one basket. So very good for having thought of this. Now, what's going to happen here? I'm going to show you one last slide. That was my sewing room. What a mess. That was my sewing room. That was my daughter's room. And with that, I'm going to escape and tease you for next time on how I handled everything. How do I get out of that? Let me go to the camera. There we go. I'd like to think it's a sign of a creative mind. And I shared with you. Oh, Alex, it's not about the money. It's about the room to put it all in. That's true. But for me, it was about the money too. Thank you, Paula, that it looks like yours too. Oh my gosh. I I am ever so grateful that I have this room that I work in. And what I'm going to, what is going on there? I try and clean up for you guys, but sometimes it's just impossible. Okay. So that's how mine looks, Connie says. And yes, it's a sign of creative person. I'll tell you something funny. My mom was an impeccable housekeeper, okay? She would have her spices in alphabetical order. And she would say to me, it would drive her crazy to come here. And I understand that. I get it. But she said to me, now mind you, I had young kids I was balancing and all that. She said, how can you stand it? I said, Mom, I've got a choice. I've got a choice to go put my spices in alphabetical order or go create. And I choose to go create. So now that my kids are up and gone, I don't have the excuse of children underfoot. Here, Rondi, yeah, your wee space is in your kitchen now and you love it. I can create in a wee space. You can. You absolutely can. Think workshop. Okay. Should we pre-wash Editas fabric? Oh, it's so beautiful. That's a whole school, okay? There aren't any hand dyes in here, so I'm not going to angst over all that. I'll tell you this, though, fabric is dirty. It's very dirty. So if you want to get rid of all the stuff that's in the chemicals and all that, that's great. If I were to be worried about any, it would be these down here in the red section, but I'm not that worried about it, but you might want to test the dark ones. So for me, it's more about the dirt when you're working with something like this in the fabric than it is the running, although you can always test it. Pre-shrinking, I don't worry so much about that because I'm working with super quality fabric from Andover. To me, it's about the dirt and the potential running. So, you're going to have a little time to do this because I'll tell you what the schedule is going forward. Maybe you want to do it just to touch it and stuff like that. And when you get it, you might want to go pull from your stash some other lights that might go with it. I think I pretty much just used this, and I might have used just some white on white. So where does the dirt come from? Connie, if you saw the warehouses where this fabric is stored before it's wrapped, before it's this, also it has stuff in it. I once had to do a quilt, like, I'm going to say 10 quilts in 3 months. I did not have time to wash the fabric. I found that I was wheezing. It's just not super clean. Now, I don't wash my fabric, and unless it's dyes, hand dyes. I don't wash my fabric because when I make something like the quilt behind me, I want it to be pristine. Alrighty? So I'm making them for work. All right. If you're making them for use, you want to get that stuff out of it. It's just like when you get baby clothes and you wash it. It's dirty, okay? A clean home, Phyllis says, is a sign of a broken sewing machine. On that note, let me tell you how this is all going to roll right now. Phyllis, I might have to print that out. That's so funny. So, okay, here's my calendar. All right, here's what's going on. I told you guys that I was going to take a little vacay, and I am. And I'm going to take a vacay this Monday the 14th through Friday the 18th. Okay, I'm not going to be here. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. I need some time off. I need some time off to pull my head together about how we're going to do this. I do want to put out a little PSA. Craft Napa registration starts 9 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesday the 15th. So if you're interested, Pogie's going to be doing it virtually. I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to be right there at my computer ready to go because I know exactly who I want to take. So then we're going to come back on the 21st. Which is Monday the 21st, and we'll be putting up announcements on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to get into my studio and how I came to what I decided on, the building of it and then how I filled it, because I shot my money on the building, and it's like a poor man's dream on the inside here, but I am not complaining. And then more, I believe, on Wednesday the 23rd, or maybe I can take questions. And then we're going to start the basket puzzle on the 25th. All right, Friday the 25th. But there's still a lot to learn between. Now, I want to talk about this. Lilo works with us, and she did a book called Love Your Creative Space. It was based on what she did for thequiltshow.com. If you're not a member of thequiltshow.com, you guys are missing out on a lot. And remember, it's still $19.95 for 6 months. So this book is about loving your creative space. It's not about how to put this up, okay? It's about looking at your situation and assessing what to do, all righty? So like under your stuff, let's talk about your stuff. You've got soft stuff, that would be batting, tool stuff, sticky stuff like glues and adhesive, marking stuff, blingy stuff, and then your space, and it goes through setting it up, walls and floors, lights and magnification, cleaning up, go mobile, change happens. And then this even goes into what do you do with your whips? You guys asked me that, and she's got ideas in here, work in progress. And then she went to 6 studios. And one is, I'm going to slaughter the name, forgive me, Cecile Franconi, Susan Cleveland, Kamika Hara, Denise Labadie, Lauren Velchek, and the last is Nola Emery. If you've not yet seen the field piece on Nola Emery, it is a Go watch. I'm trying to find it here. She suffered a stroke while scuba diving, and half of her body is paralyzed. And they have set up her space so that Nola can do her thing. So, and I'll tell you what, her Nola's work is amazing. So this is really, really good. And so, is this going to be recorded? Donna, yes, it is recorded. It is on the main page of thequiltshow.com, and you just go down to see playlist. And so, it's going to reside there until whenever. I mean, it's not going anywhere. We're working too hard on this, and people are playing catch up and all that good stuff. So, I would like to, John, there's something nasty going on there. You need to block those people. So, sorry about that, you guys. Yikes. Whoever just did that, they're out of here, okay? I'm going to go fold. No, the fabrics fold. I'm going to go tie bows on fabric so we can get those out to you. And you got plenty of time. So, also, you can see it on YouTube. Thank you, Jackie. You can do that too. So, okay, guys. Behave while I'm gone. I'll see you after vacay. And just be safe. Just be safe. One last thing I want to say. We are artists, okay? We are artists. We are expressing ourselves through cloth. I'm taking a class from Joanne Sharp. She has a lot of watercolor classes online, and I'm doing a bunch of her stuff. But the year one always starts every month with a quote. And she tells us what to do with the quote. I would like to share with you what September's quote is. Art is the highest form of hope, by Richter. With that, be safe, be good, and I will see you guys very soon.